You would be hard-pressed to find a Yu-Gi-Oh! Video posted in the last year by a popular YouTuber that does not have at least one comment about someone complaining that the video is clickbait. Welcome to today's shorter video, probably, where I want to talk about clickbait in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community specifically. Now, clickbait is all over YouTube, and I feel like there's a lot of myths and misconceptions about it. So today, I wanted to talk about that in relation to the Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube scene. So first of all, it's worth pointing out that to some people, there are channels that are always seen as clickbait. They just see that every video they post is going to be clickbait, but to other people, that same channel might not be seen as clickbait, or that person acknowledges that the channel is posting clickbaity titles, but they don't care because they like the content enough to just not really even worry about it. And those are sort of in general, the dedicated fan base you want to have is one that's going to click on any video regardless of the title. So the reason that some channels that people may see as clickbaity, why they're so successful, is because there's a whole legion of followers that don't even really care what the video is about. They just want to watch whatever video that person is making. So those are some important distinctions. Clickbait is not ubiquitous. It's not just going to be to everyone. Everyone has the same criteria for it. I find that, even with myself, some people think my titles are really clickbaity. Some people applaud me for avoiding clickbait. So there's no consensus on what clickbait actually is when we're referring to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. But more importantly, and this may come to a surprise from a lot of people, and I think it's really the most important part of this video, is that you have to know clickbait does not work for growth or for money. And that it hasn't always been that way, and that's pretty crucial because in the olden days, YouTube's ad system was quite different. Now, I didn't run ads in my videos in the olden days, so I don't really know the exact details of how people were getting paid, but there was a point when YouTube decided that clickbait was way too prevalent, so they really put a focus on two things mainly. Watch time and viewer retention. So the watch time has to do, unsurprisingly, with how long someone actually watches the video. This thwarts watch time by making sure that if you put boobs in the thumbnail and someone clicks the video and ends up being you playing Overwatch and they just click off immediately, YouTube is recognizing that, and then even though your video technically got one view, that view has a lot less weight in promoting your channel to other people. And that's really important as well because the vast majority of everyone's views are coming from people that aren't subscribed to them. And YouTube is taking this, they recognize that this is how they're promoting people's channels, and they're promoting the channels that have the greatest number of watch time and also viewer retention. Viewer retention I am loosely defining as if a viewer is more likely to click on other videos from that person. And if they know they watched a video. If you watch a video, click off of it, never watch that person's channel again, well then you didn't really retain any information that you heard, you didn't subscribe to them, you didn't come back for more, where you want people to not only be watching one video throughout its entirety or as long as possible, you also want them to want to come back and watch your newer videos, both of which clickbait really does not work for. Yeah, you're going to get that one quote-unquote view, but you're not really getting that much out of it. And this is even, I'm just going to briefly touch on this. People complain about YouTubers making 10-minute videos, and I can sort of see that from like a watcher standpoint. You don't want people rambling on, but if you post a 10-minute video, the reason that people are doing that is because you can put more ads on it. However, if you post a 10-minute clickbait video that's nothing like the title suggests or nothing like the thumbnail suggests, if people click on it and then immediately clicked off, well then they haven't watched any of those additional ads you've put on there. Actually, some of the best ads on the 10-minute videos are the ones at the very end, which means you really want to encourage people to watch the entire video. So if you make a clickbaity video and then you only have like ads at let's say even 25 seconds in, that's a pretty common, that's actually one of the suggested ad placements that YouTube gives people on 10-minute videos. Let's say you put an ad 25 seconds in, people click your video, figure out that it's not what you said it was, and then they immediately click off. Well, they never even watched that 25-second or they never watch the ad that's 25 seconds into the video, which means that putting it to 10 minutes, making it clickbaity, actually hurt the person that made that video, where they could have just made a title and thumbnail that wasn't so clickbaity to say. And then moving on from that, now that we've sort of cleared up why clickbait actually isn't good for channels, and you can see that the channels that are really clickbaiting hard aren't actually growing, the thing that you need to know here is that titles can be good without being clickbaity. And what I mean by that is that I think a lot of people, and maybe the reason that my channel gets called clickbaity every once in a while, it's really not that often, but every once in a while, usually on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro 2 replays, people call it clickbait because the titles are ambiguous. But I think, and what most content creators agree with, is that titles, if they're good, are meant to intrigue the audience, intrigue the viewers, but not mislead them. And it is important to intrigue the audience. Your videos are popping up in the suggested bars of people that are watching videos that are similar to yours, and you have a lot of things that you're fighting against. You're fighting against the people that are making similar content. You're fighting, I mean, honestly, just on like a video-to-video basis, you are fighting in the suggested bar against every other video in that suggested bar. So your title and thumbnail have to be good. They have to intrigue the viewer. I made a crude proof of this where my Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro replays, I guess, have pretty ambiguous titles to sort of catch people's eye, and then they click on it and find out that it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. But some people complain that I should have in the title what deck I'm playing and that it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. So I made a video titled Yu-Gi-Oh! Live Commentary number 47, Magic Specters, and that video did terrible. That's like the only video I have in the past 2 months that's under 3K views, and it just did awful. I don't even think it has 2K views. And that's sort of like the thing, like, just, you don't have to avoid clickbait so much that you are making your title trash. Like, it can still be a good title without being clickbait. And then that brings me to my final point here, is that clickbait to some people is different than to other people when we're talking about the specifics of it. And by that I mean, to some people, having a video title in all caps is considered clickbait. This is a pretty common procedure done by in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community especially, a lot of the really big channels post all caps titles. To some people, that is enough for them to consider the video clickbait, even if the title itself doesn't include anything that people would normally associate with clickbait. If they see a title in all caps, they won't click it. To other people, and I think I was in this camp for a while, if a video title has best in the title, like the best deck profile or the best pack opening, they consider that clickbait. Now, I will say I've sort of loosened up on my thoughts on that. I mean, obviously, I don't put best in my own titles, but I can see why people do. They make your video appear a lot higher in the search bar. If you search for like Dark Magician deck profiles and you see one that says best and one that doesn't say best, well, obviously you're going to want to click the best one, so you click the one that says best on it. So to some people, just having the word best in the title, even if you actually did open insane in your packs, means that it's clickbait. And I can kind of understand that from a pack opening standpoint, especially when you watch a pack opening that has best in the title and they only pulled like one ultra rare, and it's like, well, is that really the best one? So I think people's problem with best is the fact that a lot of people that do that put it in every single video, not just the ones that are actually the best ones. And then the last form that a lot of people think is clickbait, and that comes, I think, with my own titles, is ambiguity. So people think that my titles, I mean, I've had lots of them. I mean, I have the Rescue Rabbit is impossible to draw, which is related to a frog replay or frog live commentary that I had where I was playing Rescue Rabbit and I never drew Rescue Rabbit, but I drew Frog the Jam. Or I had Don't Play Sci-Frame Driver, and that was a gameplay where I was playing the Sci-Frame engine and I opened Driver like 2 games in a row and it was terrible. And then the moral of that story was like, don't play that card. And those titles a lot of people think are ambiguous, and then they don't like them, which I kind of understand, although, like I said, from my channel standpoint, not a lot of people have mentioned it. But maybe the other titles that are really like ambiguous and people don't like are the ones that say like, you won't believe how Spirals lost to Turtles or something like that, or you won't believe what this guy pulled out of his circuit break packs, crazy video, watch until the end. And I think that those titles are probably a lot closer to the misleading titles than intriguing. Yes, they're intriguing, but they're really sort of misleading the person that's clicking them to make them up for something that they're really not. And that's not good. That's something I really try to avoid. Even with my ambiguous titles, I feel like if you watch the whole video, or if you even watch halfway through the video, because that's what I usually take from to make the titles, somewhere in like the halfway point, as long as you watch halfway, you can distinctly know why I said that about, or why I made the title what I made it. And that's something that those really ambiguous titles don't always do. That's not always clear. It's just to get you to click them, watch all the way through, and then go, well, that wasn't really what the title said. I was kind of disappointed. And that's not good. That's misleading people, not something you're supposed to do. So anyway, what is the moral of this video? The moral is clickbait is complicated, and it really doesn't work. So if you think people are clickbaiting and you don't understand why they're getting so many views and people don't seem to mind, maybe just like step back and really ask yourself, is this clickbaiting, or are they just making a title that people will click on and then be happy with the video? That's kind of what I wanted to talk about. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy this discussion. Probably you won't, but we'll see. If you've made it this far, please leave your best clickbait comment in the comment section below, related to Yu-Gi-Oh preferably, and put the hashtag clickbait there. I might make a video where I try to make thumbnails based off of your title suggestions, but we'll see if that actually happens. I don't know how many people watch 10 minutes in this video, but I will see you guys later. Bye.